Right now in Scotland there are 5 stakes, which is a lot better than it used to be. I mean, I think it was about 50, 60 years ago, I think there was only 1 stake. And the mission president, so let me back up a little bit. So there's a tradition in the mission, the Scotland Ireland mission. When you get there, all the new missionaries, they climb, we call it Pratts Hill in Edinburgh. Its real name is Arthur's Seat. It's the highest hill in Edinburgh, that's right, and you can see everything around. And so you go up there because the story is that Orson Pratt was the first missionary to Scotland. He went up there after he'd been working really hard in Scotland. He hadn't found any converts really. I mean, a few. His companion was a native, but he wasn't having the success that he was hoping for. And so he went to what we now call Pratts Hill, Arthur's Seat. And he said a prayer, when he was talking to the Lord. And he basically told the Lord, I want to baptize 200 people, is what he said. And he counseled with the Lord, and that's what felt right. And so he went to work, and by the time he left Scotland, he had 200 converts, and they'd established the church there, and he left. And so what we do now is when we get there as new missionaries, we go up and we set a goal with the Lord what we want to do on our mission. And so there's another, I think it was President Cuthbert, if I remember right, when there was 1 stake, he went up there, it was like 1950s, I think, or 60s. And they had 1 stake, so he went up there with all the missionaries, a few of his missionaries, not all of them, like his assistants and a couple others, I think. And they went up and prayed to know what to do. And they set a goal of how many priesthood holders they wanted to have, because that's why they only had 1 stake. There wasn't enough priesthood holders. And so they set that goal, and they went to work. And a few years later, I think it was like 3 years later, there was a telegraph from, I think it was Elder Haight from Salt Lake, that said they were coming to establish the 5 stakes in Scotland because they'd met their goal. They'd gotten all the priesthood holders they needed. And so the church is growing steadily in Scotland, I think, and those 5 stakes are pretty good still. So when I was there, I think there was about 180 missionaries. I think there's more now, since the age change and the influx of missionaries. There's only English and Chinese. When I was there, was only ever a max of 5 Chinese missionaries. I've heard now it's up to about 8 to 10. So they have more areas than they did when I was there. As far as temples, there's 2 temples in England. Those are the nearest ones. The one in Preston is about, I think it's like a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive. So as a missionary, I never went. That's where the MTC is as well. So when members go, they usually get a bus together and they take big temple trips down. They just stay for like a whole week, but missionaries usually don't go as far as I know.